What's up? What's up? What's up? One crack news. Pretty late for some, or if you know me. And man, this Claudine Gay situation has been crazy. Um, because I see what the real problem is and what the real situation, how it's developed and how it's moving forward. And what I see and what others probably don't see, it's problematic for some. For others, it's just another day at the office. But this is the tip of the iceberg of what's to come. You see, what people are not realizing is that you're living in a time where everything is misconstrued. You're not getting everything in real time. You're getting a lot of interference. You're getting a lot of people who are doing their very best to sabotage or attack anybody who go against their ideals or practices. Rather than defend their practices, they rather silence you than try to defend that their word that they're actually saying out of their mouths. Now, instead of questioning or answering the question that was presented with facts, they know they can't, so they turn to the other alternative, which is to come at something from another angle. Now, when you see all these people get involved, you have political journalists, you have these people who are scholars, and she's the Harvard University president, and she has to step down, as Claudine Gay was forced to by Harvard University. They made it like it was her own, but we know she was forced out. And the reason that she was forced out is because of politics. Then they say, oh, it's a personal misdemeanor. She was not found guilty of plagiarism at all. She was investigated for, but they did not find that she plagiarized anything. Um, she gave a comment and made a comment that they felt was anti-Semitic or just against a certain group. And this is what they wanted to use against her. You have a board of overseers, the Harvard conversation, and people who are sustainable or worried about the fact that they don't have faith in her ability to lead during a wartime presidency. So, for all the reasons that are gross and disgusting for a Black woman to have to go through this in the history of the University of Harvard, knowing what they history is like, a 400-year university as it is, um, what is going on here really? Well, what you're starting to see is a shakeup, and as advised, suggested, or demanded, she had to go to a bad faith committee. That's what they're labeling it. A bad faith committee who would basically put this whole sham together or hearing to blame someone for going to a shame hearing and performing poorly, is what they called it. Um, there's plenty of people there who have a lot of bad intentions and wanted to manipulate or force a resignation or firing of somebody. They have allowed themselves to be used in a different culture that's involved in war and all type of things that are going on. And all these people don't care about anti-Semitism and stuff like that. These people, the majority of them, they're trying to fan the flames because it's bigger than what they're trying to actually do. So what they're actually pretending that they care about, they don't. They're using that as the tool to try to remove or get in power the people they want. Now, the vote on plagiarism case is saying she got off easy, and I really had a problem, with the way they handled the situation. Because I was looking at it and I'm like, I don't really see the problem here. I really didn't see the situation break out the way they said it. Happy New Year, all y'all. Yeah, I really didn't see the problem break out the way they were trying to portray it, like it's a real problem. I didn't see that at all. And the fact that I didn't see that made it very clear to me that I had a bird's eye view on what the situation should have been and could have been, and all of those different things. And when you have what they call shadowy support, and they said, "Oh, the Obamas back her. They came in and saved her." Well, how is she saved now if she's resigned from the position altogether? So everybody needs to understand this because not everybody here understands when most people talk about plagiarism, they think they stole someone else's idea. But plagiarism within a academic circles is incorrectly, basically citation. That's just it. It could mean that this person wrote this instead of Joe Smith. It could be I put the parentheses here instead of there. Okay, so it's not like that. It's a whole different dissertation. So people don't understand there's a lot of different ways you can say plagiarism. But when you have what they call bad faith Republicans, those those people get involved and start doing things for political reasons, and they try to play on certain things like we're just trying to do get rid of these people who are anti-Semitic and get all we're just trying to get these things out of the way and going after the Harvard president or MIT's president and all these people for all these nefarious reasons that they've created. They've opened a door to a deeper problem that's trying to play on the sympathy of the people. Um, it's a problem in America right now because people just turn their head and they focus on the game, or they focus on the TV show, but you're not focused on what is the real problem here. And the real problem is that you're bumping your head against a wall, okay, hoping that that wall don't fall. And you're hoping that when you get up in the morning, you got a job. And in reality, don't hit until you go to work and they say, hey, we got to lay off 50 to 70 people here. And you're like, what? Then now your world changes. And now you've seen everything revolve around you that you got to pay attention to that was right in front of your face, but you just ignored it. So now, because you've ignored it, all of these things are coming back around full circle. There was 750 different complaints put in about something that no one else even complained about. These people went and made false reports as they went into a what they call a Discord where they go chat and they get in that Discord and they say, all right, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna get as many people we can to go over there and we're gonna put all these fake reports up and we're gonna pinpoint this, and this, and we're gonna send it in and see what happens. And when you have a lot of people that react that way and take certain actions against people and to try to hurt their position because you don't agree with them, because you can't debate with them, because you can't speak to them, that's cool. Like if you wanted to have a back and forth with people, that's cool. But because you can't win and you got to go to a cynical way, you start to see what's happening here. When they don't have the dialogue to debate you, they go ugh, low because that's what they are. So when you have someone who says that, well, To me, when you have someone that's not genuinely open or honest about the scenarios or the situation altogether, um, she didn't. It's not a race card when you know what the situation is. You said she played the race card. It's not a card when it's actually that. There is no such thing as a LeBron Jordan debate. There's no need for a debate. I don't know why people feel they need to debate that. The debate should be, should he even be included in the conversation of anybody that played in 1990? That should be the debate. Well, it's politics because now you got people who go to, let's say, yes, it's a lot of problems when you have people that you feel got all these nefarious reasons, uh, and people are sympathetic to their needs, right? And it's academic problems or academic probations or what have you. That's deeply affecting the actual nature of things, right? And it also contains academic misconduct if you look at the book, right? But that's not alone to out her as a president. I mean, we've seen presidents of universities get called for many different things. But when it's black, when you're black, there's always this small margin of error. And then you got to think about the endowment that goes to Harvard University, the 400-year institution that hasn't normally been fair to people of our skin color. So you talking about a race card, that card is always going to be there. Diversity, inclusion. Do you think she was chosen because they care about diversity? Or they wanted to say, hey, look, we're not bigoted. We have a black female president. We're not like Yale. Yale will be like, we don't care what you call us. They're not getting in here, and that's final. So, yeah. Well, pretty much down the line, people are going to have to make a decision. Is Ivy League even for you if you're a person of color? Do you need to go to a Ivy League school to actually fit in to get to where you need to be? That's what, for some, they feel that's how they make it in the world. And what's happening in the future, that is not going to be necessary. All these people who graduated from Harvard and Yale and spend 50, 60, hundreds of thousands of dollars on diplomas, it's going to be all for naught, because there's going to be no need for lawyers. There's going to be no need for these guys unless you're in the medical profession. That's what people are going to be needing, a lot of medics, because what's going to happen pretty soon, and what I see in the near future, is you're going to see different factions within the state try to separate from the United States of America. That's right, a civil war. People are already fighting a civil war now. So if you're in the midst of that, that's what's going to be the next things to come, because you're seeing salaries reduced. You've seen insurgents coming in. You've seen illegals coming into the country, and they're allowing it. They're allowing things that never could be done before. Illegal people could sleep in the police station when homeless people that lived here in this country, former veterans who fought for this country, can't do that. Where does that make sense? Start to piece this together. When you go on the Patreon, we're gonna break it down. This is the only time we could really give you the real, you know what I'm saying? So we're gonna try to give it to you in another form, so I can actually speak on what's actually coming, so that you will be aware, right? He said, try being a black tennis coach for 20 years. I've seen it all. Of course you did. I mean, look at a sport that doesn't pertainly market to African Americans, but it's one of the best sports to ever play if you're an African American, is tennis. You see, tennis, baseball, hockey, those sports are predominantly, generally favorable to Caucasians. The terms of the contracts are like 10 years. You can get a 10-year baseball contract. You can't get that in the NFL anymore. You can't get that in the NBA anymore, those long-term deals. And the reason why is because they want you to be able to maneuver, get some money here, get some money there, and then they get you out. Now, what's everybody says guaranteed, but you get hurt, then what? They just gonna pay you out your money? No, they come to a buyout clause. Then you might end up out of the league forever. Baseball, man, you got all kind of money. Guaranteed. Tennis, man, and the endorsements in tennis alone is crazy. Did you know blacks used to play tennis way before the Williams sisters and everybody else? In the 1970s and 80s, blacks played tennis before Arthur Ashe was doing his thing. Blacks played tennis. It was cheap. $6 was all you had to pay to go in and play tennis. Blacks played tennis. My uncles played tennis. Two of my uncles played tennis. It doesn't even matter about your degrees anymore because they don't hold any weight. I'm trying to tell you, all of this stuff is changing. And if you don't know how to survive in the new world, in the new era, you will get left behind. A lot of stuff is going to get eliminated, and a lot of people are going to be out here trying to fend for self. So people are going to have to start figuring it out real soon. So with all this, I'm gonna just do it tomorrow. Ain't no more tomorrow. You better get it today because this is it. This is actually it. Nobody's playing games anymore. It's time to step up. So shouts out to Kwame Brown Bus Life, Armando Black TV. Welcome to HD TV. Jag Sports with Jose Rodriguez, and I'm out the door.